Welcome back to Homebound Wine and Dine. Here we have bread and buttered Chardonnay coming out of Napa Valley. This is a 2018. It has a little bit of buttery notes to it and some oak. To start off this episode, we'll start with one shallot, take off the top, slice that in half, and take off the skins. Then we'll dice it very, very finely. Then we'll get 4 ounces of Parmesan and grate that into a bowl. Next, your asparagus, slicing only the bottoms there off. You can snap them off if you like. This is my method of doing it. You'll then add some oil, salt, pepper, lemon zest, lemon juice. Then add some Parmesan cheese, just to top it all off, and put it in your oven at 375 for 20 minutes. Next, for our mushrooms, we'll take off a little bit off the ends, then quarter the mushrooms. Set those aside. We're using some of the chalkboard Sauvignon Blanc for the creamy rice. Add your thyme sprigs to a pot, then add your chicken stock, about 3 cups. You can always add more if necessary. Add some oil to the pot and add your mushrooms. Start to sweat those a little. Once they begin to sweat, add a little bit of more oil and then add in your shallots. Sweat those for about a minute as well, minute and a half. Season with a little bit of salt, mix that in. Then add your rice. I'm using long grain rice here. After you saute that for a couple minutes, add your white wine and mix that all in together. The rice will begin to absorb the white wine, some of the oils, some of the salt. After a few minutes, start adding your chicken stock, a little bit at a time, and let the rice absorb that. After you see all the chicken stock disappear every time you add some, then it's time to add a little bit more, and keep doing that the whole time. It'll take about 20 minutes to do this, so you'll have to stand here the whole time and do it, or have someone else do it for you. But don't walk away, otherwise it'll burn. Once you added all your chicken stock, add some heavy cream, mix that in. And begin to add your butter. I'm only using 3 tablespoons of butter, so add them 1 tablespoon at a time. And I'm using unsalted butter because I don't want it to be over salted. There's already salt in the chicken stock. There's already salt that we added at the beginning. You might not need any more. Once you've added all your butter, add a little bit of water. And then add your cheese. The cheese will also add salt. Once you're finished adding your cheese, you want to make sure you taste it in case you want to add a little bit of salt if necessary. Otherwise, you don't need any. And your creamy rice is done. Now for our scallops, I patted those dry. Add a little bit of salt on both sides, just enough to coat, and get your pan on medium-high. Let that get very hot. Add some oil. Make sure the whole pan is coated. Then start to add your scallops. It's going to get a little smoky, so make sure you turn on your fan or open some doors or windows. And add them 1 at a time. Add the little circular motion so it won't stick too much. And let those sit. We want it to develop a nice color on one side. So just keep an eye on them. Make sure it's a medium high, not higher because you'll burn them. And coat the scallops with a little bit of oil and the scallop juice. I just checked one just to make sure they're not burning and they're getting to where I want them. And once you see they have developed a nice color, flip them, add a tablespoon of butter, and baste the scallops with that after you add your sage. This process should take you 4 minutes total. You don't want to overcook these. And set this aside once they're finished. Welcome once again to Homebound Wine and Dine. Here we have our scallop dish. Ready to eat this. Let's pour some of our wine. It's actually the first time I tried bread and butter Chardonnay, but it's really good. right. Look at that color on that one. Way different than the Sauvignon Blanc, the chalkboard. Don't worry, it still tastes good. Take off our sage leaf. You can eat that if you want as well. And I can't wait to eat this one, to be honest. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut one of these scallops. Ooh, looks good. All right, so we're gonna do what we always do. Grab a little bit of everything. We'll cut some of these asparagus. And get a nice bite. Taste it all together. Oh man, the Chardonnay is perfect with this. You get nice acidity from the asparagus and that creamy risotto on. I love my mushrooms, so I can put it on literally everything. And these scallops though, they have a nice little crust on them with the sear and that sage butter though, that's where it's at. Oh, we gotta try just the risotto again. Not risotto, creamy rice. Wow, that's delicious. Go ahead and make sure you give this a try and let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed it. Thanks again for joining me. See you next time.